Aerolite is one of the locomotives that we all see on display at the Railway Museum in York. However, outside of the more informed enthusiasts, many people don't know much about it. The museum signage is only a short sentence. I wish to briefly give you some more knowledge. The preserved Aerolite is not the first. There was another before it which was built in 1851 by Kitson and put on display at the 1851 Great Exhibition held at Crystal Palace. Sadly, this lovely 1851 loco was destroyed in an accident in 1868. Hence, the Aerolite we know and love was built as its replacement in 1869. Aerolite has been rebuilt and modified so many times it is confusing to keep track, but in brief, she was built as a 222 well tank locomotive. However, I cannot find any photos of her in this condition. What you are currently seeing on screen is a result of the first overhaul in 1886, where Aerolites gained side tanks for added water capacity. A replacement boiler was also manufactured for the loco, the first of many. For some reason, they also lengthened the wheelbase by 8.5 inches, the purpose of which I don't know. During this overhaul, Aerolite lost her original nameplates, which were sent to Darlington for preservation. These nameplates are now in the National Collection. Aerolite stayed in this condition until 1892 when she went for her most transformational rebuild. Aerolite completely changed, as you can see from the image. So what changed? The loco became a compound. The wheel arrangement changed to 4-2-2. The original well tank was removed. Larger side tanks were fitted, and they finally extended the bunker. The enlarged bunker was most useful as the coal capacity finally increased to 2.5 imperial tons. In the absence of data, I will make the educated guess this was roughly a ton or a 1.5 ton improvement. Lastly, the boiler pressure was increased from 140 psi to 160 psi. As you can gather, there wasn't a lot of the original loco left at this point. The loco ran for 10 years in this condition and went back into the works in 1902 for another rebuild. Again, there was a major change. Aerolite became a 224, completely reversing her wheel arrangement. New outside frames were manufactured and fitted, and even larger side tanks were fitted, increasing water capacity to 1,620 imperial gallons. The loco also received another new boiler, to similar dimensions but this time made of steel instead of iron. The loco ran for 5 years before more attention was required. In 1907, Aerolite was fitted with new inner frames, and a new set of nameplates were fitted to the loco. These are the nameplates that the loco carries in preservation. In 1910, the loco received a new set of cylinders, and that was the last works visit until after the First World War. In 1919, Aerolite received a new crank axle, and the last works visit which was documented was in 1921. In 1921, the loco received its last new boiler, again the one fitted to it in the present age. This boiler was made at Darlington and was rated for 175 psi. In terms of performance, this probably gave the loco a little more headroom. Aerolite plied her trade for many years, hauling the North Eastern Railway direct to Saloon around the North Eastern Railway network, and then latterly the LNER network in the North East. She did spend a week in Edinburgh on the North British section, hauling a direct to Saloon in 1924 though. Aerolite served A.C. Stamer, Assistant Chief Mechanical Engineer under Sir Nigel Gresley, as his personal loco until his retirement in 1933. 1 week after A.C. Stamer retired, Aerolite was retired for preservation with the LNER in York, where she still resides in the Railway Museum to this day. I hope you enjoyed this brief but detailed history of the curious tank engine Aerolite. As usual, I wish to pass my thanks for watching and say that, should you be interested in my future videos, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. Thank you, and see you again soon.